Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? This Kilo, you know what I'm saying? I had to do a little short story. I've been seeing everybody else's, so I decided to do mine by audio. Too much to type. My story is called The Wrong Life. Some people live the life of a struggle. Some people live a life where they were fed by a golden spoon. The people who live the life of the struggle are obligated to go out and get it because that's all they know and the only choice they have. The people who live a life where they were fed by a golden spoon sometimes make wrong decisions, like trying to live the life of someone who struggles. In this story, there are several lessons, real life situations that a lot of people faced. One of the lessons is deceiving someone. This story is about a boy named David. At 5 years old, David had the perfect life. Mom and dad were married, mom was into the church, and dad was a street man. David was well taken care of and had it all. David knew nothing but his family, school, and the church. That was David's life. Around the age of 7, David's perfect life started breaking into pieces. David would constantly hear his parents arguing. His mom started drinking heavy, and his dad started spending nights out. And every other time David would seek for his parents, none of them would have time for him. David learned to adapt to the situation and continued to act as if his life was still perfect. One day, David came home from school and found his mom in the bathroom with a needle on the floor. He instantly panicked and cried and called 911. Later that week, David heard his mom on the phone crying as if she lost her whole world. Next thing you know, David overhears her state that his dad was dead. David's emotions were everywhere. His dad was the closest thing to him. Even when his mom and dad would argue through those rough times, David's dad still was there, even if it was occasional. David's dad was his heart. A few years passed. Now it's only David and his mom. Throughout time, David found out his mom was hooked on drugs, so David had to fend for himself, and his mom as well. One day, David's mom lost it and completely abandoned him. Now David had to live life completely on his own. At age 12, David started spending time in the streets, where he met the most beautiful girl in the world to him, Angel. Angel was raised spoon-fed and very popular at the age of 12. David instantly fell in love, sneaking in and out, having late night walks, even got close to her dad, which was David's pastor. Years gone by now, David and Angel are a couple. David was raised by the pastor, who thought of David as a son. Never would have thought he was dating his daughter. David, now 15, lived a double life. Church on Sundays and Thursdays, and the other days in the streets busting moves. David met a big cat named Red, who was like an uncle to him. He spent many nights in the streets with David's dad before he passed. Red taught David the game, and from there, David was a vet. 2 years in the streets, and David was better than his father was. David's childhood friend name was Chase. They were practically brothers. When they got together, nobody was able to tell them nothing. David and Chase ran the streets. Chase was Big Red's nephew. Red took Chase in when Chase's grandma died. Ever since then, Chase was chasing the money, hoes, and fucking up the streets. Chase was the type of guy that didn't need to hustle. But of course, like many, Chase decided to be someone he wasn't. Straight honor roll scholarships, very popular, had it all. Dropped out and became the man in the streets. One day, David had got a hotel. Chase's friend Aunt got it for him, since he was older than him. Big Red just gave Chase 10 pounds of loud, 3 keys of coke, and 2 ounces of heroin. That was the biggest package Red has ever gave to anyone. David bagged everything up and put it up and laid in the bed, thinking about all that he has been through, and of course thinking about his baby, his love, his life, Angel. David heard a loud knock on the door. Boom. And now David is facing 15 years. It was the feds. Angel came to see David on and off for the first few months. She held him down like he thought. On the seventh month, David pled guilty, took a deal, and was sentenced to 7 years in the joint. Angel made her last visit the day of his sentencing, letting David know she was pregnant. After that, no more Angel. Years bypassed, now it's David's release date. David was on a mission to find Angel so he could see his kid and to fuck her up for leaving him hanging. The first stop David made was to Angel's mom. As they converse, David finds out the pastor died. David had ice in his heart and tears in his eyes. That news turned him into a monster. Recapping on David's life, he lost his pops, his mom abandoned him, the love of his life did the same, and now the next best thing he had has passed away. Poor David. Not only is David on a mission to find his baby mama, but he's also on a mission to find out who snitched on him as well. David swallows his emotions and gets straight to business. David calls up his best friend Chase. They chop it up for a while, then they link up. David and Chase goes to the court, play some ball, catch up on life, then hits the gym and out to eat. After eating, they plan to link up with each other later. David grabs the money he had Chase hold for him and rents a room. David had a long day. He hits the shower and cuts his music on. As David starts to get out the shower, his phone rings. What do you know? David found out Chase is the one who snitched on him. Not only that, but when David did his old bid in the joint, David also found out Chase was fucking his baby mama. Now David is fierce. Fire in his eyes is over. David is about to fuck shit up. David grabs his banger and is roaming the streets looking for Chase. Chase's friend Ant spots David and puts David up on scope. David is now parked outside of Chase's apartment. He lights his blunt, takes a few shots of his hand from his bottle, cuts his car off, and touches his rosary and prays. As David approaches Chase's door, he hears screams from inside the apartment. He hears Angel yelling as she cries like she's being harmed, and he hears a small voice of a boy screaming. David instantly busts down the door to see for the first time in his life his son, as he's banging on a closed door where he hears Angel's screams. David sheltered his son as he kicked the room door down to see Chase beating Angel. As David pulled his gun, it was already too late. Chase shot first, and now David did. Ah, y'all tell me what y'all think about that, you know what I'm saying? Comment, do whatever, you know what I'm saying? I had to get that up out the kilo.